when you truly know that you're of divine source, there is a absolute trust that comes with it. So if you truly know that you are guided, that you are held, that there is a plan for you, then you live without fear because you understand that whatever comes has come to serve a purpose. And it always does. Because wherever you are out of alignment is exactly where you're going to receive knocks in life, right? Because it's knocking you back into alignment. Now, either you can fight against it, right? Because if you're not set with cause and effect, if the stream is running downstream and you're trying to swim up, it doesn't matter what you do, you are always going to hit resistance. And if you are not aligned in the natural way of things, you are going to persistently and continuously in those places that you are out of alignment, you are going to hit resistance. You're going to hit walls. And if you are not willing to look inwardly, you are going to continuously throughout your entire life blame outwardly. And every single time you get a knock, you have an opportunity for alignment. You have an opportunity to heal yourself. Heal yourself. What is healing? Healing is setting yourself right, is becoming righteousness, even with your body. If something happens and you're healing, you're setting your body back right on course, right? So healing is setting yourself right. And in order to set yourself right, you have to be in a state of humility, not like humiliated, but humble. You have to be humbled. You have to be willing to really look inward and be open to the possibility that there are places within you that you have always believed to be true that are out of alignment. And when you find some of these places, you are going to be shocked and horrified. And there is going to be so much pain. But that pain is burning out the impurities. So if you have pain, it's because you're out of alignment. If you are constantly pushing against, right, fighting against circumstances, fighting against holding, I'm right, right, maybe you'll avoid that pain because you don't see the out of alignment. You're deflecting the pain. So you can hold that up for a while, but it starts weighing on you, right? Because it catches debris as you go along in life, right? Because you're holding this front and you have to hold that front. When you are out of alignment, you have to constantly hold those things in place. You have to fight for the belief. You have to hold it in place. You can't just let go and be and come into your natural state, because then that will penetrate your being, your existence, your story, your emotion, and then you're going to be forced to deal with it. So you are going to be going through life collecting debris and having to hold it in place. And that becomes very heavy. It becomes very, extremely difficult. And a lot of times something will come into your life, either something horrific or something exceptional, or something exceptional in any case. And something will come in and tickle your soul. It'll come straight through all of the layer of the crap and tickle your soul. And then all of a sudden, you can't hold all this up anymore. And it comes crashing down. And then you are left vulnerable and naked and confused because your truths didn't hold up. And now you don't know what is right, what is wrong. You in the beginning, when we get thrown into this spiritual awakening, we can just feel absolutely devastated and not be able to find hope or belief, or it seems like the taste has gone out of life. But all of that serves a purpose, because you have to break all of the falsities down in order to rebuild yourself from source up. And during this process, things that you used to be able to go to make you feel better, or substances, or running away, or different addictions, they just won't do it for you anymore. And you'll see that either you have to take responsibility. I think there's a lot of times with addiction, I'm going into a side note, a lot of times with addiction is that we started with some kind of behavior because we couldn't cope with the emotions and with life, because we weren't in our true nature, right? We were holding up all these faces in the way that we thought society wants us to be, the way that we think that a successful human looks. It could be in education, it could be in job, it could be in what you own, it could be in how your family life, it could be in your religion, all of these fronts that we're holding up, and they become really first of all, they're become really heavy, and it's very difficult to hold all this up, and we don't even know how to relax anymore. And so we go to these comforts. It could be alcohol, it could be sex addiction, it could be something that allows us to lose our mind for a minute, right? And so we have all these addictions in place, but after a while, they don't even work anymore. And not only do they not work, they make it worse, because not only do we have all of these faces we're holding up, now we have this addiction that draws us, that we feel out of control with, and that we have this horrible guilt with. And many times we hide it. Most times when we have an addiction, we hide it. So we have to hide this front too, because it doesn't fit in our little box of what a good human looks like. And then when we finally do start waking up, when everything becomes too heavy and everything shatters, we're stuck with this physical and emotional and psychological addiction that we also have to deal with. And a lot of times that addiction is what brings you to that rock bottom, brings you to that place where you cannot go and continue on the same path. So sometimes the addiction is a gift, and having to overcome that addiction is what gives you the strength to pull out of all of the different addictions, because you could see all of these fronts that you're holding up. They're also addictions. They're behavioral patterns that you have come so used to holding up that you are addicted to them, because they give you relief. They give you some kind of I'm okay, I'm doing good, look at me, right? But also all of that is insecurity, right? Because it's front. And when you realize that all of that is a front, then you're afraid of dropping all that, because people won't like me if they really see who I am. If I don't hold up all these fronts, I won't be acceptable or accepted. And then you realize, well, wait a minute, if somebody's not going to accept me for who I am, do I really want them in my life? Because this is superficial. If they love me because of all these fronts I'm putting on, then they don't truly love me. They love the masks. And so do I really want these kinds of relationships? And what is my dependency on them as well? Because if you are and so the people that you will attract into your life are the people of same, if you have a whole bunch of masks on and you're attracting people that would like those masks, that means that you are attracting people that cherish the mask. That means that they also have the masks, right? So you're living a superficial, very surface relationship, because when you drop all the masks, first of all, you see who drops out of your life. And when you drop all the masks, you also see who really cares about you as a person. And not only that, you attract to you people that are similar, like kind as you, as your authentic self. And people that want just that quirky and just that personality and just that makeup. And so when you become your authentic self, when you drop the masks and you go through the dark nights and you find yourself and you get rid of the addictions, because the addictions, you could see them as something that is attaching onto you. It's like a host. You're their host. They're like a leech, right? Because the addiction gets expression through you, but it alters your expression, right? When you're addicted to something, it takes over, right? You start, even sometimes unknowingly, you start building your life around the addiction and around the being able to manipulate your life to have the addiction in your life. So you're not being authentic, right? You're working that into your life sneakily. So even in your other relationships, they may not even know why or what you're doing, but there's a falsity there. And so when you remove all of this and you just become a pure vessel and a pure being, a pure essence of your true self, then you attract to you those that like just that think that it's endearing and cute and want to be next to you. And as long as you're putting on a mask, something in you knows that you have a mask. And somebody loves you, you don't believe them because you know that they don't truly see who you are. So you don't trust in that love. And that goes back to those bonds are superficial. Because if they're in love with the masks, they don't truly know who I am. And if I let all the masks go, they may leave. That means that they are invested in this for reasons of their own. It creates a codependent relationship. And so if you want to trust love and really relax into somebody's love, you can't be wearing masks, because you could never relax into a relationship when you know that they don't truly see who you are. You have to hold this up for them to love you. And so it puts things really in perspective. Boy, we've gone quite a ways on this. And so it's all about the entire, I don't even remember where we started off this video, but I can see the point. It is all about self-purification and bringing yourself back to your core essence, connection to the all, knowing that you are a divine being, and trusting, there we go, that's what it was, trusting that you are connected to all. Because if you know truly that you are connected to the all, then you know that there is a reason and purpose and function for you. And you know that you are always held. And no matter what happens, you see that it comes to serve a purpose, right? Because if your life is breaking down, right? Let's say you're losing your house. Your partner's divorcing you. When you know that you are part of the whole, you're a part of a divine, you can see that this is happening for a reason and it's serving a higher purpose. So maybe you're being knocked out of your house so that you can learn certain lessons, so that you can have that experience as well in your pocket. Because at the end of life, what makes the best stories? The hardest things we go through make the best stories ever. At the end of your life, you look back. I mean, even now, if you have perspective, you can look back and see that, wow, the things that were the hardest for me to go through, those were the things that really made me who I am, and I really was able to see what I'm made of. And aren't I happy that those things happened and that I was given the opportunity to overcome them? And so even if you're going through something that's very, very difficult, just the fact that you're given this opportunity to overcome it is building you and making you that much stronger. So when you truly know that you're connected, you know that everything there is serves a purpose, and you allow yourself to just flow with it and say, okay, where is this taking me? I'm losing my house. In the beginning, you try and you do what you can, and you fight against it a little bit, or you try to hold on to it. And then when it's going and you see it's going, it just you can become curious. Okay, now I'm going to take responsibility. This is happening. Let's go ahead and go with it. Let's see where this is going to take me. Okay, it hurts. Okay, let's feel that pain. I don't have to suffer. Let me feel the pain. Let me see what it's telling me. Where am I out of alignment? Because if, let's say, a partner is leaving you, right? If they're leaving you, then then it's not meant to be. You don't want to be with somebody that doesn't want to be with you. And so there might be pain in that, but holding on to them and grasping them and forcing them to stay is belittling yourself. It's saying, I'm willing to um, stay in a relationship with somebody that doesn't want me because I'm so insecure that there's somebody out there that will love me for who I am and want to be with me, right? You see it? Or if you're losing your house, then it's an opportunity to go somewhere else, change place, change energy, change your life. So you can become curious about it and say, okay, well, where am I going now? This is going to be fun. This is an adventure. That's all life is an adventure, an experience. So when you truly, truly trust and you truly, truly believe and know that you're held and know that you are a divine being, then of course there's going to be things that knock you off of your center, but you can pull right back and you can really lose a lot of the fear and live life to a much fuller level. And so I'm sending you guys so much love. I recently wrote a book called Aligned. It's synchronizing belief, thought, and emotion. It's a 50-page guide, very compact, very intense. I will put a link for it if you're ready to do some deep, intense shadow work. I'm putting a link for it in the description below. So thank you so much for being with me. My name is Shoshanna. Sending you so much love.